something. I mean, just do something, about your, the financial resource. There's a time tag, you can straight go away. I have given 5 points, 5 value points, which you can use in your life to avoid being late. And for management, I have given an article. I have shared the link below. I have gone into some more thoughts. Hello there, I am Professor Vijay Kumar, back with you. How to avoid layoffs. I have seen layoffs at 2 levels of perception and also at the 3rd level as an observer for more than 30 years. So I've been on the side of employee, forced programs. I've also been part of the management, preparing the whole worksheet for layoffs. And this vid I'm going to, I have given a time tag. If you're a software engineer or an employee that is in this IT circle that is facing a lot of, recession turmoil, there's a time tag, you can straight go away. I have given 5 points, 5 value points, which you can use in your life to avoid being laid off. So check it out. And for management, I have given an article. I have shared the link below. I've gone into some more thoughts about how the management of these high-tech and big-tech firms and even the other firms in the industry, as a professor, as a researcher, and as one who started his career in the corporate sector, and still I am consulting. I do a lot of training, I do a lot of research, I do a lot of consulting. So I think you can hear this video out. And if you like this video, don't forget to give your comments, share, and subscribe to my channel. Now, first things first. This layoff, it started, I've been seeing it, like I said, for more than 30 years. And more I have seen during, the bubble burst, the internet bubble burst at that time. Then in 2008, we also saw it in 2014. And this is happening because the IT sector has a shorter strategic life cycle. Now, where did this layoff first come and what is this sort of a management decision? Credit goes to Jack Welch, a writer and famous, and it is his advocacy, where he says, for the company to, get more attractive, get on its feet, shake off some fat, fire the bottom 10%. So credit goes to Jack Welch. And then I have a question like, if this is one of the solutions, if this is one of the ways that you can do, shouldn't management knowledge, shouldn't the decision maker, shouldn't the industry leads, you should also look at Tom Peters. You should also look at, what C.K. Prahalad said, core competencies. So there are ways and means by which you can shape a company. And this is a statement I'm making even to the big investors. You are part of the board. There is something that you can do because you need to look. I'm not saying that you don't have empathy towards, those who get laid off and, things like that. But management is something that is evolving and there are ways, better ways are there. So you should consider that, and I'm sharing a link below. Check it out. I have given a few major points by which, the industrial decision makers can consider and make your organization, your startup or your high-tech firm, or even if it's a large conglomerate, please check it out because always there's something to contribute. Now, this, firing the bottom 10% is something like a labor issue, pun intended. What is happening? This sort of a strategy is something like, how shall we say, like I said, labor issue. A lady who's pregnant, it's the parents to be are congratulated by the doc, but then it always goes for a C-section. Is C-section always a solution? That means you take away some issue comes, the patient has some issue, you take him to the surgery table. You have to sever it off. Well, there are other considerations. I can hear the minds speak too. But surgery is not the only solution. It should be the final solution. So I don't fully subscribe, but if you have no other choice but to shake off the fat, then well, you have to do that. But management or the ancient science of Arthashastra, Kautilya's Arthashastra, Chanakya's Arthashastra, which was a prelude even to the art of war, Sun Tzu's art of war, There's a lot of things that we need to learn. So please consider that and check out that article. Now, having said all that, let me move to the software engineers, and the other high-tech employees. What is it that you can do to make your career bulletproof? Here are 5 things I'm going to say. The first thing is, it's a value quotient. Check your value, your self-value to the organization. What are you worth to the org? Now, there are many activities that you do which do not account or get credit for. I sincerely doubt. Suppose you're going to train an intern. Does it add some credit to you? And the HR is not going to come and point out. The HR, in fact, they are functioning as managers. Actually, the HR should function as leaders, motivators. But that will probably happen in due course. But the first factor is check your value. What is your employee productivity quotient to the overall, the organization's expectations? And this you need to knock the doors. You need to find out. And when you do some other additional work, like helping out a colleague, or doing something which is a corporate social responsibility, do these things add value? Now, the top end, or there might be others who have a different view. Why would a CSR thing should add value to the employee's performance? I will say go back to core competency. Go back to Tom Peters, who says even small things add on to the brand value of the organization. So you should give some credit. So the crying baby gets the cradle. So you will have to constantly look at monitoring your self-value to the organization. That's the first point. The second point is, check out the value of your project or the product that is being sold. It's just not the cost of goods that gets sold, but the project and the project team's value and whatever product you have. This is a generic talk, so I'm not going into the specifics. The value of your project or the product to the organization's revenue and reserves. What is it worth? So are you part of a team that is indispensable? What is your team or your product's contribution to the organization? Now, this is something you have to consider, because if you are at something of a value which is low, chances are that in the event of a recession or some other thing, chances are very bright for the layoff. The entire team can get laid off. 75% of the team can get laid off. So you have to check that. And what is it you can do? So once you know, forewarned is forearmed. So once you know that, then you will have to see how your project value can be enhanced. Or you may have to do something. Some of the TLs or the senior consultants, the associate consultants, you can always voice out to see what it means to the organization, or at least try to get an assurance that this is not going to be a product or a project which has a low value. And again, look within the team. Suppose the team is overstaffed. Suppose you're not having any work to do and you're just watching somebody else is finishing off. There's a superhero who finishes the job and you don't have a contribution. So always see that this value of the project and you as an entire team, part of the team, is having a significant contribution. If not, you will have to sound the bell. You have to sound the alarm. The third point is, look at the future value of the technology that you're dealing with. I don't have to tell you this, AI, ML, deep learning, ChatGPT and the other things, the fintech companies and how things are moving. So if you're part of a technology that's going to hold good for the next 10 years, 15 years, it's good. So the third thing is check your future value of not only your technology, but even of yourself, not with that of an organization, but that of an individual, which means enhance your value. You can go to Udemy, you can add on a few new programs. You can look at how to become a better entrepreneur. You can look at some knowledge value addition. So learn new technologies, keep upgrading yourself. You have to keep, there's no other choice, you have to keep upgrading yourself. You have to look at something of a short-term course, probably of some management, big savvy saying, which is going to be part, like what, the new age of innovation, where the book is there, written by C.K. Prahalad and Krishnan, where R is equal to G and N is equal to 1, that's what is happening. So look at the future technology. Are you going to be there, or are you going to be run over by some other technology? So you need to constantly update yourself, and that includes your LinkedIn profile. You can go ahead with writing out some more articles, do something, that enhances your value. Always you can click the button and say, I'm open to work. Suppose in the first two things, something is not okay. So don't wait for the signal. You say open to work. LinkedIn has that option. So somebody would come and take you off even before, you get laid off. So that's the third point. The fourth one is, this is kind of personal, reduce your, big time expenses. cultivate. I know you're all very smart and you can go in for very good savings, but just look at this. What is the point in going for a big EMI and, you know, having a, let's say a Tesla car or an expensive automobile, which you're not going to use because you're going to take the metro. So that becomes a liability because you're paying the EMI, you know. Check it out, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you know, Robert Kiyosaki's book. So think smart, increase your savings. What happens when you are going to be paying a huge EMI and then this thing is looming large? It creates a lot of problems. So reduce your, you know, big time expenses, become a little bit more thrifty. Look at how you can generate a second income, a third income. You know, probably you have some property in your parent country or somewhere, you know, see how you can enhance that. Think about writing out a book. Think about increasing your, you know, the third thing which I said, a new technology. Do something. I mean, just do something, you know, about your, you know, the financial resources, because you need to have, I would say, not for 1 year, your savings must be good enough for at least 2 years so that you are relaxed about paying the school fees or paying the other medical expenses or, you know, etc., etc. So the fourth one is about the finance. If your finance is strong, your emotion is going to be strong. You know, that is the most important thing. And the fifth point is program your luck. Yes, there is providence and you can program your luck. And how can you program your luck? Look at your health quotient. It's not just you hit the gym or you go for a jog, but look at your health quotient. I know I have a very good and a very nice friend, you know, he has been in the industry right for the last 30 years, and then about close to 17 years back he had a health hazard, you know, working on the keyboard. You know, the eyes just pop out of the eyeball socket. You know, some health hazard comes in. So you can avoid that. So program your luck, program your health. Health is wealth. And you can program your luck. Go and look at, you know, ways and means by which you can increase your collective consciousness, increase your emotional balance, increase your creativity, and above all else, don't have any bonding, no matter how big the organization. It could be IBM, it could be Google, it can be one of the finest firms, but don't have any sort of big bonding to the organization, because one day we all have to leave. We have to leave this planet, we have to leave an organization, but we have to leave it in a better way. We have to leave it in our terms. And I think all of you guys out there, you have that stuff in you. Never say die, you know, live and let live, be strong. Reduce your emotional touch with that. I mean, the colleagues, you can always be in touch with them, you know. So these 5 things, just 5 things, I'm also going to give I'm going to write it down so that those who are, you know, you don't have much time, you'll find it in the description, all these 5 things. And program your luck, which means take yoga. Yoga is not a particular part of any religion, yeah, come on. It is something that connects you, puts you in a better frequency and harmony. So look at, you know, meditation. There are all these things you can do. Program your luck. Yes, luck is programmable. You can program your luck. Luck is that meeting point between the alertness of your mind and all the opportunities passing by. This is what Dale Carnegie said. So with this, I sign up, and this is Professor Vijay Kumar. If you like this video, give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you with more value videos. Till then, make it a great day. Have a wonderful time, guys. Bye.